And I pull into Nashville, and it's instantly when the pandemic is just running rampant. And there was a tornado that hit East Nashville. It was just so many horrible things were going on. And I was losing gigs every day. Like I'd wake up to an email of 5 gigs just canceling because everything was shutting down. And my bank account was shutting down too. So I had one last gig that was booked for me, and it was just an open mic at the Mercy Lounge here in Nashville. And I really only had about 80, 90 bucks, and I didn't want to spend the gas money to go, but at the time it was, you got to finish every gig. And when I showed up, it ended up being a scouting opportunity for The Voice. So I performed with the band, and they asked me to be an alternate for the show after my performance. And I basically said,
what did you think?
Yes, I lost every show, so I will definitely do it.
So that night, they said they wanted you to audition for The Voice. What was going through your mind?
Oh, so much. I never really watched too much of the show. We all know about it, and I've seen the clips, but I didn't think that it was for me because I'm a baritone and a kind of a raspy voice, and I had only done my own original work all my life because I've never really covered artists, and I just figured, I know this is a show all about cover songs and doing your interpretation, but I was so far behind on my knowledge of performing them that I didn't think it was necessarily for me. And when I got on, I found out it was kind of the opposite, where I was allowed to reinterpret everything, and it was a lot of fun. But my mind was racing, basically saying, we're in the pandemic, I can't even leave this state right now. What's this look like? So I was very grateful.
What happened after that, though? I mean, when you got there, or first of all, how did you get there, and what was it like to just walk out on that stage?
Oh, it was crazy. It's a long process from starting to get those calls to getting on the stage, maybe 2 months or so. And I remember picking a song at that time. It was Colder Weather by Zach Brown Band. And I just always loved that song. So when I saw it, I was like, I gotta try this one. Because also I was living on the road and all that. So when I got up on the stage, you're waiting behind this huge band for, hours. And when you go up, it's hard to explain because it's such a big moment. And then when you get up, it's only a minute. So it goes super quick that you don't really even remember it. But I remember feeling my mind was don't trip and start on time, and the rest will happen. So for me, I was
What were the nerves
focused.
like?
Yeah, they're good. They're solid sized nerves. But really my thing was it's very dark, and if I don't trip and I can start the song on time, I'll be okay.
Well, the judges' seats are turned around.
Yeah, they're turned around, and we were in the pandemic, so there was no audience. It was just the chairs.
Okay.
So you have a ton of production staff around you, and then you basically have to hit your mark. That's it.
So what happened? Who turned their chair around first?
Blake. So me and Blake went the whole way.
Did anybody else turn their chairs around?
No, it was just Blake for me. Blake's always had my back when it came to that show.
So you were Team Blake.
Yep, from day one.
Tell me what that was like. I mean, the moment he turned around, what went through your head?
To be honest, I didn't have any expectations, because when you're there for a month before you perform. The other artists, everybody's so good that for me, I always kept a bag packed. I was like, I'm not gonna get any kind of delusions of grandeur here. But the thing is, he turned around and he was one of the best guys I could have worked with.
Ian, we were talking about working with Team Blake and on The Voice, and you were talking earlier about only having $90. How did you support yourself these months being on The Voice?
It was, I had a different strategy in life at that time. I was living out of a 24-foot Winnebago, and my strategy to break as an original artist back in the day was I would tow a Honda Accord, and that Honda had a whole PA system in it. So I would park the Winnebago at a state park or a trailer park across America, and I would work there for part-time for a free stay. So I had the ability to kind of live at a basic level by working for them. And then I would gig within 400 miles of wherever I was parking. So that's kind of how I was living anyway. And when I was on the show, I was getting enough per diem and stuff to kind of keep life going.
Keep focused on.
But it's a hard thing for a lot of people, especially me. I was traveling full time and didn't have much to take care of, but a lot of people had full careers and houses, and it can be very, very difficult for people.
What was it like to work with Blake Shelton?
They don't show a lot of the hang or the work and the guidance off the camera, but I would say for me, since he's probably helped hundreds of people, for me, Blake was really key at that point in my life because he kept urging me to just lean into my authenticity. Those shows that you almost feel like the highest note is like the better song or something. And being a low, raspy guy, he just really encouraged me to kind of lean in to who I am and just embrace it and help me with song selections. And that kind of guidance, still I take it with me into the studio today. A lot of the things that he would show me were really just kind of like delivery. And that's one of the most important things as an artist. And he's a master at it.
How many times did he work with you during the week? I mean, you see on the show that they come in and out, but was it a lot or was it just a few times?
It works with in different ways every week. So some weeks we'd have a couple meetings where it was on camera or rehearsals, and then we would have maybe a studio time and then some stage stuff. So it really varied, but probably like 3 or 4 times a week.
For several months.
Yeah, I think we were on the show for about a half a year. So we also had a lot of quarantining back in the day. So
what was it like to compete with the other artists? Were you able to meet them, or did you just kind of stay focused on yourself?
No, we did. We did a lot of, you get tested all the time, so everybody's good. And really working with the other artists, it's much less of a competition because we're all in it together. And you kind of get forced into creating this little family. So I still have some of my best friends there from that show. I just got off a 2-week tour with Jim Ranger, who is on the same team as me the entire time.
Ian, where did you finish in The Voice?
So all said and done, I got 3rd place on season 19.
Were you surprised?
I was shocked every day. I'm telling you, I had a bag packed every night because when you do get off, you got to leave pretty early the next day, and I wasn't going to pack it at 5 in the morning. But
so they just ship you out when you're done?
Pretty much. Everybody's got a different trajectory. Some people live out there too. But for me, I was just a fan of everybody on the show, and all these singers are just so incredible that for me, it was more about the experience and learning on this stage, and the band leaders were so amazing to me and just teaching me. So every day I was just excited to be there. But taking 3rd, I didn't think was possible. So I will use me as an example for anybody thinking about doing the show. You should try. Just give it a shot.
So what were the feelings that you had every time you survived another round?
I was definitely shocked. I remember a few moments being like, I can't believe this is happening, that I'm progressing through this show. But honestly, I just stayed grateful because what I'm trying to do is be as authentic as I can. And if people like that, then I'm just gonna continue doing it,
So what's life like now after The Voice?
After The Voice, I feel very fortunate to where I got back on the road the next night, and I was in Orlando, and then I was out in Texas for a while, and I got a call from Reviver Records, and they wanted to do a single with me. So Blake was kind enough to feature on it. So I released a song called Grow Up. Blake featured on it, and we met at Starstruck here in Nashville, and he came through and sang amazingly, and that turned into a record deal.
So tell me the premise behind Growing Up.
Well, the song Grow Up is really just about celebrating that you're never gonna grow up and you're never gonna lose that kind of spark, that energy.